What if I told you that a simple, inexpensive vitamin powder placed under your tongue for just 60 seconds could produce effects remarkably similar to expensive prescription medications, but without the side effects, without the cost, and without needing a doctor's visit? What if this vitamin has been sitting on store shelves for decades, studied extensively by researchers, but almost nobody knows about its powerful effects on blood flow and intimate performance? I am Dr. Sophia Carter, and today I am going to reveal which vitamin this is, why it works so effectively when delivered under the tongue, and exactly how to use it to transform your intimate function. This information could save you thousands of dollars while giving you results that rival anything you would get from a prescription. Let me start by explaining what actually happens in your body when you experience arousal and how blood flow determines the quality of your response. When arousal occurs, your nervous system sends signals that trigger a cascade of chemical reactions. These reactions lead to the production of a molecule called nitric oxide in the lining of your blood vessels. Nitric oxide then causes the smooth muscle cells in blood vessel walls to relax. When these muscles relax, the vessels expand and blood flow increases dramatically to specific tissues. This increased blood flow is what creates firmness, sensation, and the physical capacity for intimate activity. As men age, this entire process becomes less efficient. The cells that produce nitric oxide become damaged by oxidative stress. The enzymes that create nitric oxide become less active. The blood vessels themselves become less flexible and responsive. And the overall signaling system becomes sluggish. The result is that even when mental arousal is present, the physical response is diminished. This is not a failure of desire or interest. This is a mechanical breakdown in the blood flow system that makes intimate function possible. Now here is where this particular vitamin becomes absolutely crucial. The vitamin I am talking about is niacin, also known as vitamin B3, or nicotinic acid. Niacin has a unique and powerful effect on your cardiovascular system that sets it apart from every other vitamin. When you take an adequate dose of niacin, it causes widespread vasodilation throughout your entire body. This means your blood vessels relax and expand, allowing dramatically increased blood flow to every tissue and organ. But niacin does much more than just cause temporary vasodilation. It actually improves the health and function of your blood vessels over time. Niacin has been shown to increase levels of something called HDL cholesterol, which is the protective form of cholesterol that helps keep your arteries clean and flexible. It reduces levels of triglycerides, which are fats in the blood that can impair vascular function. It reduces inflammation in the blood vessel lining, and it improves the function of the endothelium, which is that critical layer of cells that produces nitric oxide. Research has demonstrated that niacin supplementation can significantly improve endothelial function within just a few weeks of consistent use. This improvement in endothelial function translates directly into better nitric oxide production, which means better blood flow responses during arousal. This is why niacin can produce effects that are strikingly similar to prescription medications, but through a completely natural mechanism that supports your body's own systems rather than forcing a specific response. The key to maximizing niacin's effects for intimate function is the delivery method and timing. When you place niacin powder under your tongue, you are using sublingual absorption, which bypasses your digestive system and delivers the niacin directly into your bloodstream through the rich network of blood vessels under your tongue. This produces much faster and more pronounced effects compared to swallowing tablets or capsules. Let me walk you through exactly what happens when you use sublingual niacin. Within 2 to 3 minutes of placing the powder under your tongue, you will begin to notice a warm, tingling sensation spreading across your skin. This is called the niacin flush, and it is actually a visible sign that the niacin is working. Your blood vessels are dilating, blood flow is increasing, and your skin is receiving more oxygenated blood. This flush typically starts in your face and neck and spreads across your chest, arms, and the rest of your body. It can be accompanied by a feeling of warmth or even mild itching. The flush might sound unpleasant, but it is actually completely harmless and temporary. It typically peaks within 15 to 20 minutes and then gradually subsides over the next 30 to 60 minutes. Some people find the sensation enjoyable, describing it as an energizing or invigorating feeling. Others find it mildly uncomfortable at first but quickly adapt to it. The important thing to understand is that this flush is a direct indication that the niacin is causing vasodilation throughout your body, including in the blood vessels that supply the tissues involved in intimate function. The timing of niacin use is important for maximizing its benefits for intimate performance. You want to take the niacin about 20 to 30 minutes before you anticipate intimate activity. This gives it time to be absorbed, to trigger the vasodilation response, and for your cardiovascular system to reach peak responsiveness. The enhanced blood flow and vascular function will typically last for 2 to 3 hours, giving you a substantial window of improved performance. The dose is also critical. For therapeutic effects on blood flow and intimate function, you need an adequate amount of immediate-release niacin. Research suggests that doses in the range of 50 to 100 milligrams are sufficient to produce noticeable vasodilation. Some men find that 75 milligrams hits the sweet spot of providing strong effects without an overwhelming flush. You can start with a lower dose like 50 milligrams and gradually increase until you find the amount that works best for you. It is absolutely essential that you use immediate-release niacin, not the slow-release or no-flush forms. The slow-release forms, sometimes called sustained-release or extended-release niacin, do not produce the beneficial flush effect and actually carry a higher risk of liver stress with long-term use. The no-flush forms, which contain niacinamide or inositol hexanocatenate, do not cause vasodilation and therefore will not provide the benefits we are discussing. Only immediate-release nicotinic acid will give you the effects you are looking for. Now let me explain the biochemistry of why niacin is so effective at improving intimate function. Niacin works through multiple complementary mechanisms. First, it activates specific receptors in your blood vessels and skin called GPR109A receptors. When these receptors are activated, they trigger the release of prostaglandins, which are signaling molecules that cause blood vessels to dilate. This is what produces the flush and the dramatic increase in blood flow throughout your body. Second, niacin improves the function of your endothelial cells. These are the cells that line your blood vessels and produce nitric oxide. When endothelial function is impaired, nitric oxide production decreases, and blood flow responses become sluggish. Niacin helps restore healthy endothelial function, which means your body becomes more capable of producing nitric oxide naturally when arousal occurs. This is a fundamental improvement in your vascular system that provides benefits beyond just the immediate effects of any single dose. Third, niacin reduces oxidative stress and inflammation in your cardiovascular system. Oxidative stress damages cells and impairs their function. Inflammation stiffens blood vessels and reduces their ability to dilate. By reducing both oxidative stress and inflammation, niacin helps restore the healthy, flexible, responsive vascular system that is necessary for optimal intimate function. Fourth, niacin improves your lipid profile in ways that support vascular health. It raises HDL cholesterol, which helps remove harmful cholesterol deposits from artery walls. It lowers LDL cholesterol and triglycerides, both of which can impair blood flow when elevated. It reduces levels of something called lipoprotein A, which is an independent risk factor for cardiovascular disease. All of these changes support healthier, more functional blood vessels. The research supporting niacin's cardiovascular benefits is extensive and impressive. Niacin has been used therapeutically for decades to treat various cardiovascular conditions. Studies have shown that niacin supplementation can improve blood flow, reduce arterial stiffness, enhance endothelial function, and improve overall cardiovascular health markers. While most of this research has not specifically focused on intimate function, the mechanisms are directly relevant because the physiology is the same. Better blood flow is better blood flow, regardless of which tissues we are discussing. One of the most compelling aspects of using niacin for intimate enhancement is the cost. A bottle of immediate-release niacin containing 100 tablets of 100 milligrams each typically costs less than $10. If you are using 50 to 100 milligrams per dose, that bottle will last you 50 to 100 doses. Compare this to prescription medications, which can cost anywhere from $30 to $70 per pill, and the economic advantage is staggering. You are getting comparable benefits for literally pennies per use instead of tens of dollars per use. The safety profile of niacin is well established when used appropriately. The main side effect is the flush, which, as I mentioned, is harmless and temporary. Some people also experience mild stomach upset, especially with higher doses. Starting with lower doses and gradually increasing allows your body to adapt and minimizes any discomfort. Taking niacin with a small amount of food can reduce stomach upset while still allowing for effective absorption. Though for maximum speed of onset, sublingual use on an empty stomach is ideal, there are some important contraindications to be aware of. If you have active liver disease, you should not use therapeutic doses of niacin without medical supervision. If you are taking medications for diabetes, niacin can affect blood sugar control, so monitoring is important. If you have a history of gout, high doses of niacin might trigger flare-ups. And if you are taking blood pressure medications, the blood pressure lowering effects of niacin could be additive, so consultation with a healthcare provider is wise. For most healthy men, however, using moderate doses of immediate-release niacin for occasional enhancement of intimate function is very safe. The key is starting with appropriate doses, paying attention to how your body responds, and adjusting accordingly. Some men find they can use niacin regularly without any issues. Others prefer to use it occasionally for special occasions when they want enhanced performance. The sublingual delivery method offers several advantages beyond just speed of onset. When niacin is absorbed under the tongue, it enters your bloodstream directly without going through your stomach and liver first. This means you need less total niacin to achieve the same blood levels, which reduces the risk of any side effects while maximizing the beneficial effects. The sublingual route also produces a more rapid and pronounced flush, which correlates with stronger vasodilation and more noticeable effects on blood flow. To use niacin sublingually, you can either crush a tablet into powder or purchase niacin in powder form. Place the powder under your tongue and let it dissolve completely without swallowing. This might take 2 to 3 minutes. During this time, try to minimize saliva production and keep the powder in contact with the tissue under your tongue. After it has dissolved, you can swallow any residual powder, but the primary absorption has already occurred through the sublingual mucosa. The taste of niacin is relatively neutral, though some people detect a slightly bitter or acidic note. Most men find it perfectly tolerable, especially given the short duration of contact with the tongue. Some men like to rinse their mouth with water after the niacin has dissolved to clear any lingering taste. The effects of niacin on blood flow are systemic, meaning they affect your entire cardiovascular system. This is actually an advantage because it means you are getting comprehensive improvement in circulation, not just localized effects. Your heart receives more blood flow. Your brain receives more blood flow. Your muscles receive more blood flow. And of course, the tissues involved in intimate function receive dramatically more blood flow. This whole body improvement contributes to better energy, stamina, and overall physical performance during intimate activity. Many men report that the experience on niacin feels more natural compared to prescription medications. Instead of a forced or mechanical response, niacin supports your body's natural arousal and blood flow mechanisms. The response builds naturally with arousal, and feels integrated with your overall physical state. This naturalistic quality makes the experience more satisfying and connected. Another advantage of niacin is that it works regardless of the underlying cause of intimate difficulties. Whether your challenges stem from vascular problems, age-related decline, mild cardiovascular issues, or just normal variation in blood flow efficiency, niacin's mechanism of promoting vasodilation and improving endothelial function will provide benefits. You are addressing the fundamental pathway that makes intimate function possible, rather than targeting one specific aspect of the system. The long-term benefits of regular niacin use extend far beyond intimate function. By improving your lipid profile, reducing inflammation, and enhancing endothelial function, you are supporting overall cardiovascular health. This translates to reduced risk of heart disease, improved circulation throughout your body, better energy levels, and enhanced physical performance in all areas of life. Many men find that they feel generally more vital and energetic when using niacin regularly. Some men choose to use niacin both as an as-needed enhancer before intimate activity and as a daily supplement for overall cardiovascular support. When used daily, doses in the range of 50 to 200 milligrams can provide cumulative benefits for vascular health. The daily flush becomes something men look forward to as a sign that their cardiovascular system is being actively supported. For the as-needed use before intimacy, you might use slightly higher doses in the range of 75 to 150 milligrams to ensure pronounced effects. The adaptability of niacin dosing is another advantage. You can fine-tune the amount you use based on your individual response, your goals for any particular occasion, and how your body adapts over time. Some men find that after using niacin regularly for several weeks, they need slightly less to achieve the same effects because their baseline vascular function has improved. This is actually a sign that the niacin is working at a deeper level to restore healthy cardiovascular function. Understanding the difference between niacin and other forms of vitamin B3 is crucial. Niacinamide, also called nicotinamide, is another form of vitamin B3 that is often used in supplements. However, niacinamide does not cause the flush and does not have the same vasodilatory effects. It is metabolized differently in the body and works through different mechanisms. For the purposes of enhancing blood flow and intimate function, niacinamide will not work. You must use nicotinic acid, which is what causes the flush and the therapeutic effects we are discussing. Similarly, some supplement manufacturers sell forms of niacin that are chemically modified to reduce or eliminate the flush. These are marketed as more comfortable or convenient, but they sacrifice the very mechanism that makes niacin so effective for blood flow enhancement. The flush is not a side effect to be avoided. It is the primary indicator that the niacin is working. Without the flush, you are not getting the vasodilation and blood flow improvements that make niacin useful for intimate function. The research on niacin continues to reveal new benefits and mechanisms. Recent studies have shown that niacin may support healthy aging at the cellular level through its effects on something called NAD metabolism. NAD is a crucial molecule involved in energy production and cellular repair. As we age, NAD levels decline, and this contributes to many aspects of aging. Niacin is a precursor to NAD, and supplementation may help maintain healthy NAD levels. This adds another dimension to niacin's benefits that extends beyond just cardiovascular effects. The anti-inflammatory effects of niacin are particularly relevant for men dealing with age-related changes. Chronic low-grade inflammation accelerates aging and contributes to the decline in intimate function. By reducing inflammation in blood vessels and throughout the body, niacin helps create an internal environment where tissues can function optimally. This anti-inflammatory action works synergistically with the vasodilatory effects to produce comprehensive improvements in blood flow and tissue health. For men who have been hesitant to pursue prescription options due to cost, side effects, or the hassle of obtaining prescriptions, niacin offers an accessible alternative that is grounded in solid science. You can purchase it without a prescription. It costs almost nothing. It has been studied extensively for decades, and when used appropriately, it is quite safe. This combination of accessibility, affordability, effectiveness, and safety makes niacin an ideal first-line approach for men looking to enhance intimate function naturally. The immediate feedback you get from niacin is another advantage. The flush tells you within minutes that the niacin is working. You can feel the increased blood flow. You can observe the physiological changes. This immediate feedback allows you to fine-tune your dosing and timing to optimize results. Unlike approaches where you have to wait weeks to see if something is working, niacin provides clear and immediate signals that the desired effects are occurring. Thank you for investing your time in understanding this powerful and affordable approach to enhancing intimate function. Immediate release niacin, delivered under the tongue 20 to 30 minutes before intimacy, can produce dramatic improvements in blood flow, firmness, and overall performance through completely natural mechanisms. At pennies per dose, it represents the most cost-effective option available while still being grounded in solid scientific research. Give it a try and discover why niacin has been called nature's answer to expensive prescriptions. I am Dr. Sophia Carter, and I hope this information transforms your intimate life without emptying your wallet.